Hello, Taurus, Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. I'm Jen with Timeline Tarot. I hope you're doing well. This is your tarot card for the week of December 21st, 2025. Keep in mind, it is a collective general reading, not individualized nor personalized to you. Messages may come through today that do not fully resonate, and if that happens, don't get upset. Just means that one message is meant for someone else watching. So take what fits, how it fits, leave what doesn't. Be sure to check out your other placements. If you're not sure what your placements are, in the description box is a link where you can obtain your free birth chart. Also in that description box is information on how you can become a time traveler. Keep in mind, Taurus, this is not what you don't see coming for the week ahead. I've already released that reading. The tarot card of the week reading is intended to help all of us move forward in our respective journeys. With all of that said, let's begin. Tapping into the Taurus collective now for Taurus Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. What is the tarot card of the week here for Taurus? What is the tarot card of the week for Taurus? One more shuffle now. Thank you. Your tarot card of the week, the Death card. What situation, environment, connection, or pattern in your life is transforming and changing to bring about something new? The bottom of the deck, you have Three of Swords. What painful aspect of your life do you need to confront? Okay. Tell me why the Death card here is the tarot card of the week for the Taurus collective. For Taurus Sun, Moon, Rising, as well as Venus placements. Why is this the tarot card of the week here for Taurus? One more shuffle. Thank you. We have the King of Wands, the Seven of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Five of Wands. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Devil, we have the Queen of Swords, and we have the Ace of Cups. Okay. I would normally say that, some of these readings there's patterns within us or mindsets that we need to change. I feel like this is external to you, but affecting you. I don't feel like, and I'm not saying, don't come at me in the comments that, oh, every Taurus is perfect. That's not what I'm not a Taurus. I have no Taurus in my chart. So please don't come at, and neither is my person, in case you're wondering. This seems to be external to you. We have two, possibly three entities here at play, maybe even four. So let's see what this is all about. King of Wands. Why is the King of Wands here for Taurus? Why is the King of Wands here for Taurus? One more shuffle here. Thank you. King of Wands is clarified by the Two of Wands, the Tower, and the World card. Okay. I think you are closing out this cycle with this entity. Seven of Swords. Why is the Seven of Swords here? One more shuffle. Thank you. The Seven of Swords is clarified by the Three of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. And the Queen of Pentacles. You're not only closing it out, you're doing it on your terms. Queen of Pentacles. Why is the Queen of Pentacles here for Taurus? One more shuffle here. Thank you. Queen of Pentacles. Clarified by the Page of Pentacles, the Star, and the Eight of Wands. I just heard it's just a matter of time. Five of Wands. Why is the Five of Wands here for Taurus? King of Pentacles, Temperance, and the Ace of Pentacles. What is that Frank Sinatra song? I Did It My Way? That's what I'm hearing now. Clarify that Devil, the Queen of Swords, and the Ace of Cups here for Taurus. That's weird. I was going to say Tara. Maybe someone watching me, your name is Tara. Or maybe one of the people involved here is named Tara. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Taurus, for you, clarifying this. Strength card, Six of Wands, and the Ace of Swords, bottom of the deck, Ten of Swords. Yeah, this is done for you, Taurus. Three of Cups, and the Three of Wands here at the bottom of the deck. So sometimes I do these readings and it's obvious that there's a pattern within us that needs to change. And I'm not saying that there isn't something within you that needs to change. Again, don't come at me in the comments, cross-watchers. My readings are typically not cross-watcher friendly. I just want to put out that little label there, that little PSI, public service announcement, or PSA. You have an entity here, and I don't know who this person is to you, a boss, a friend, a family member, a lover. It could be several people involved, like within a community group or organization that you work for or volunteer for. You recognize this entity as being toxic to your overall well-being. You either, and this is internal to you. I don't have a lot of swords here on the table except for your moment of clarity here. So the feeling I get here is that through strict observation, You have determined internally that this situation, environment, or connection no longer benefits you in the long run. You're tolerating it, and you've been tolerating it because you need to, because when it comes to an end, it will be coming to an end on your terms. So let's say this is a work environment as an example. You've already made the decision internal to you, and now maybe you talk to a friend about it or your partner, but you haven't told the boss or anyone at work. That's the feeling I get here. The people that this will impact, that your departure will impact, don't really seem to know that you're moving in that direction. So let's say it's work, toxic environment, not getting the raises or promotions you want, feeling undervalued. I have a Taurus here who's like, that's okay. You keep doing you, boo-boo. I'm going to keep doing me. I'll pour some pentacle energy into finding another job that will value me and my skills. You could be investing in also yourself, maybe increasing your skills or your knowledge base to even launch your own business. I see that as a possibility for some of you in the future as well. The point of the reading here is that you already know that this is ending. You've already made the decision. Whether you're going to do it in 1 month, 1 year, or 7 years from now is irrelevant, because again, we go back to, I'm doing this on my time. This is on a Taurus's timetable. So the work situation is ending on your timetable. The relationship, the friendship, the marriage, it's ending on your timetable. And therefore you have adequate time now to plan. Now, this parting comes with some sweet sorrow. I don't think you ever started this job saying, I'm going to leave it. I don't think you began the friendship or invested in these familial connections or ended up in a long-term connection or marriage saying, oh, one day I can't wait till I leave this person in the dust. So I think that's why that Three of Swords is there, because there is a painful component to separating yourself from something or someone that has been in your life for quite some time, or that you believed at some point in time would be in your life for quite some time to come. I think the point of your message here is not to tell you to extricate yourself from the situation, environment, or connection, because I've tapped into a group of you. You are already in the process of doing that. This seems to be about figuring out and carefully planning what the next step will be. And this is what I mean by this. And I was saying this in a lot of my readings lately, and maybe I'll end up doing a little course or something just to give my subscribers, my viewers, an idea of how I read cards, because I get new people all the time on the channel. So if you're hearing this again, I apologize, but I feel it important to reiterate for the purpose of your reading. I see all 4 queens in tarot. And first of all, I don't read body parts, only energy. So the energy for me of the 4 queens in tarot are, they've all been forged through fire, depending on the experiences they've had in regards to their own particular card suit, okay? And all 4 exist presently in a different manner. They show up in a different manner based upon those past experiences. The kings, not hierarchical or masculine or feminine, it's just that's the top tier of those 4 suits. The masculines for me are I shouldn't say the masculines. The kings are the energy of individuals who now take action towards the future. Again, based upon the knowledge they have as a queen. You have both the queen and the king of pentacles here. So there's something here about you have already determined that you're going to close this out. The 3 of Wands to the Tower to the World card is, this is the energy of extreme patience for the Taurus collective. I know it's only a matter of time that I'm going to exit the situation, environment, or connection with this individual or this entity that you deem to have been toxic, or you have felt obligated to, or you have felt like, I know I need to move away from this, but I can't do it right now, right? Can't quit the job spontaneously because I need the money. Something like that here is at play. And doesn't have to be financially related. It's just the example I'm giving you. So this is 7 of Swords to the 3 of Pentacles to the 6 of Pentacles to the Hierophant. Is it deceptive energy? It is. However, you're using it for your benefit. And for your benefit here seems to be, I'm going to be very strategic on how I manage this exit. Fantastic. You're doing it on your own time, on your own terms. So the 3 of Pentacles says, I still show up. Again, we're just going to use that work analogy. I'm still going to show up to work. I'm still putting in my best effort. I'm taking care of my responsibilities, right? I'm not being a slouch. I'm still working and collaborating with everyone here that I need to work with, but I'm not going to give more, not going to give more than what I'm being paid for. If I work 40 hours and they pay me for 40 hours, great. Don't expect me to work 60 hours. I'm not going to do weekends anymore for free. That's the feeling here. If this is a connection and I have to, for the interim, maintain it in order to keep the peace until I can find a way out or extricate my way out of the connection, I'm going to do that. I'm still going to show up. I'm going to pay the bills. I'm going to do my part. Whatever this is for you, I'm going to show up at the weddings and the funerals, but don't expect me to give more. That's the feeling I have here. And you're being very strategic in regards to your pentacle resources, your time, time, your love, your money. You're maintaining and managing them very, very well at this time, given the situation you have already figured out or determined within yourself, this won't be in my life forever. Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles to the Page of Pentacles to the Star to the Eight of Wands. This is where I feel this reading becomes essential for you for the week ahead. And this is why I think this is a good week for you to begin this. Again, regardless of when you are exiting whatever this is, it may take time for you to exit it. Could take a month, could take, like I said, a year, could take 7 years. I don't know. But there's something here about presently, as the Queen of Pentacles, based upon your past experiences, what is it that you need to learn? Something new, like if this is a job, maybe you need to learn a new skill or some kind of new technology. What do you need to learn to exit this? If you're going to exit this romantic partnership, what do you need to learn or do about exiting it? Do you need to inquire with a financial advisor if you have your finances entangled? You know, that's the feeling here, is like planning. You've already done the hard part. The easy part, most people believe, is, well, I'm just going to leave it when I leave it. Yes and no. You need to prepare for the departure. You've already decided, and I do think that was the hardest part for you as a fixed earth sign. You've already determined to yourself, I'm not doing this forever, or I'm not existing this way forever. Bravo to you. But now we have a part two, and I feel like Source or the universe, whatever you call that deity, this week is saying to you, let's not stop short at the decision. Let's now begin to plan for the extrication of yourself from this. Do you have to learn something new? Do you have to save resources? You know, do you have to find a new place to live? What is it that you need to do? Because when you do extricate yourself from this, there could be a lot of internal confusion with the Five of Wands of what now? And that would happen if you did not properly plan. So this is the week to begin properly planning. Because remember, for me, the way I read tarot, kings take action towards the future. So in a very balanced and consistent way with that Temperance energy, this is Sagittarius energy. It is fire energy, but it's cautious. It's not Aries Emperor energy, like I'm rushing right in and I'm doing it all right now as a cardinal fire sign. This is tempered in nature. So in a very balanced way, there needs to be something here about creating the new, a new income source, a secondary income source for yourself, finding a new job. If this is a living situation, finding a new place to live. The planning you do now will make the exit from this easier. The Devil, the Queen of Swords, and the Ace of Cups. It's very easy to assume or presume that once you cut this entity out of your life and you move on from it, that the new will suddenly appear. Yes and no. The new appears, but you also need to shore up the new from now. Start planning the new from now. Start building the new from now. Strength, the Six of Wands, and the Ace of Swords. That's where your victory will really come into play. Deciding you're going to leave the job that you're at and then saying 1 month from now I'm going to quit this place, but not doing the interim work required to find the next place of employment will leave you without a job. Yes. Are you then free of this job when you quit it 1 month from now? Absolutely. Do you have a new source of income? No. You want to extricate yourself from this relationship? Great. You're standing up to this person and you're walking out of their life or essentially kicking them out of yours. Great. But what does the next chapter look like? Do you need to find a new place to live, another source of income, save your money? I feel that's where your victory will come into play, is starting to prepare now for the ending you already know happens. The ending, although for you it's bittersweet right now with that Three of Swords, it actually becomes something to celebrate, provided you plan now. That Three of Wands tells me that the new beginning is coming and you are aware of this. And I think that's why it's really critical for you now to use this time to plan for the new. If not, although you are ending this on your terms, what happens the day after and the weeks to come could actually be very difficult for you to manage if you don't start shoring up the future plans now. So then when you are ready to go, you're full force into victory. I feel like for at least one Taurus watching, you're ending a long-term committed relationship. I've seen that in the readings a lot lately. And this needs to say, what are you going to do next? You need to start planning now. Where are you living? Where are they living? You don't have to include them in the conversation. But you need to be realistic about yourself, about what are you doing. If you're already in the middle of this separation, which I think one or two of you posted in the comments that you were, well, what happens afterwards? What does life look like after this person. And I think that's what you need to start building now, is the new life, the new chapter. Even if you're not ready 100% to start it this week is the opportune time for you to start planning it. Okay, 3 cards of advice here for Taurus, please. 3 cards of advice for Taurus. One more shuffle here. Thank you. Yeah, because like this is ending and it says it's bringing about something new. So that new chapter, I think, is something you need to invest a little bit more time into creating for yourself. You have that 3 of Pentacles. This is your advice. 3 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands came up here as well. And then that Page of Pentacles, learning something new. Look, you can't make this up. The King of Wands is representing the entity that you're moving on from. The Knight of Pentacles is Virgo energy. This is your plan to move on from this entity. And it does lead you right into happiness. Look at that, the Sun to the World card here. So that's 2 World cards. So you already know that you're exiting this in due course, in due time. Your advice here was precisely the message that came through. Continue investing to a degree in whatever this is. Because I feel like the energy here is like you don't really want this entity to know what you're planning. Fair enough. But you do need to begin equally investing into what you're giving to this and the new. So if you're still going to work, again, we'll use that work analogy. Great. You're dedicating 40 hours a week to this, but you still need to allocate some time to finding the new job. Success and victory will come through learning the new skill, learning what you will do next. The hard part is over. This seems to be a little bit more adventurous in nature because now you are discovering new possibilities and new paths before you. And you get to choose which direction you want to go in once this concludes. But it'll be less chaotic if you know exactly the path you're going on if you start planning this week. That is what I have for you, Taurus. That is your tarot card for the week of December 21st. 2025. If you like that message, it resonates with you, you want to claim all or part of it, maybe just found it to be helpful, please be sure to click like, share, comment, and subscribe. Hype the video if you're able to do that. If you're celebrating any of the holidays this week, I'd like to wish you a very happy holiday season. And until I read for you again, I'm wishing you light, love, and peace.